What's going on? What's going on? I hope everyone's had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Man, we are recovering here from the cookouts and the cornhole tournaments and all the fun we had with family. Last night we had Reagan and Alicia over, and our family came over, and it was just a great time. But we don't forget why we get to celebrate that for sure. So thank you guys once again. I sent out a quick thank you email yesterday. And I wished I could have taken a little more time because I put some links in that particular email I sent out. And then when I got the emails and when they went out, it didn't show it. So I was like, man, I sort of clicked on edit to take out some things and didn't realize I took out all the links that I had shared and everything. But I put a song in there about thank you. And I put every military holiday, anything that has to do with Veterans Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, anything to do. There's one movie scene that always just sort of gets me, and I always like to share it on those special holidays. And it's that one in A Few Good Men with Demi Moore being asked, why do you like them? And she says, because they stand on a wall and they say, nothing's going to hurt you tonight, not on my watch. It's just, to me, it encapsulates her emotion, her quick snap back on a silly question of why do you like, I just like that. I like words and I like the attitude behind words. Sometimes I think it conveys a lot. So anyway, thank you guys once again. If you've served or you've had loved ones who served and gave the ultimate sacrifice, we don't take that lightly nor forget it here at TW3. But just said all that to say, I sent out an email yesterday and I forgot to put those links in. And so I was like, man, but anyway, such is life. Even us marketing gurus make mistakes on a daily basis. So if you're out there in the highways and your byways and you're marketing and you're making mistakes in your marketing content, just know you are not alone. I mean, it happens. It happens. I got an interesting question that came in over the weekend, and I wanted to dedicate this live stream, of course, answer any questions you guys have as well. But the question was, Terry, how can I use your platform and the various marketing assets and tools that you provide to integrate with some social media marketing that I'm doing? And tell me, how does it work? Because I see that your plus package and elite packages, there's some social media things there. Well, I'll tell you a great example, an illustration of what our system, software, and marketing assets can do is in a quick illustration of, hey, what's up, Quackenbush and Lori, misspelling bee. Alan, what's going on? Mike Ramirez, it's good to have you, brother. Hi, Terry, this time read it beforehand. Good deal. So to answer that question of how can our system work with social media marketing, there is a client that I have worked with for over the last several years, back when I was selling our system directly, who is in the car business. He's a car dealer, and he's down in Alabama, and he uses our system to generate leads for his dealership. And he uses specifically social media a lot. And what's going on, For Traveler? How you doing? And I forgot who For Traveler is. Some of you guys online profiles, I forget the name attached to it. So if I forget, I think it's Travis, but I could be wrong. So For Traveler, tell me who you really are so I can give you a real shout out if you want your real name disclosed. But this gentleman, what he does is he uses the way we teach to generate funnels, and he captures leads off of social media marketing through funnels. But here, hey, Brian, thank you. I knew it was something. Sorry, Brian. But here's what he does. He uses our marketing incentives. Now, this is brilliant. This is just brilliant. He uses our marketing incentives to capture leads for people, not to buy a car, but who would be willing to share some deals that they've got going on from their website on their social media. In other words, he uses social media marketing to attract a bunch of ambassadors, a bunch of quote unquote affiliates out there that would help him generate leads for different deals, because he sells used cars mostly. And so he'll get a used car come in from various brands, different makes, different models, all over the map. And so what he'll do is, of course, he puts that up on his website that he has with us, and he has the link, and he has all the details and the information about the car and all that. But then what he'll do, of course, he can share that link on social media and on their car dealership's Facebook page and all that other stuff, and put it on Craigslist, and put it on usedcars.com, and put it on all of these different ways to drive traffic. But here, hey, what's going on? True Power. He says, take time to remember those who gave their life for the freedom, starting with Jesus Christ. Thank you. Absolutely. And fallen soldiers, we know that the real love comes to Jesus. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I know your name too, and my brain is just not working. And like I said, all these on, no greater love than this, than he who lays down his life for another. So, I mean, it's, the reason there's a song I shared yesterday. If you're coming on late, I gave a little kudos up front about, our fallen soldiers and the people who gave their lives. There's a song by Dennis Jernigan, and it's him and actually singing with, another worship leader that's been a favorite of mine for years on the Lift Him Up album and stuff like that. And I can't think his name. Oh, my brain's just not working today. But it's called Thank You. It's a popular chorus, and it's talking about thank you of the what Jesus has done for us, and in the love and what he's done. But if you can take that song and almost replace it with what a U.S. soldier and military officer has done as well. If you take the sacrifice and doing and helping, set people free, it's just amazing. So anyway, I'm interrupting myself, but absolutely, I agree with you. What's up, Spelling Bee? She says, been missing the Mondays and Wednesdays. When we get started back next week. Monday night is our first podcast back, June 3rd. Invite everybody even the people you don't know. Get them out there. We're going to have a big launch. We're going to start promoting the conference again. The next conference coming up, me and Chris go down there this weekend to sign papers and get the next room, the bigger room across the street. We're going to be staying at the same hotel that we stayed at this year, but across the street, there's a room that'll seat up to about 100 to 150 people. So we're trying to finalize on that and get the details on that. And then you guys like Miss Spelling Bee and Captain Quackenbush and the other Mike. Mike, did you come? I think you came to the, yeah, you were there. What am I talking about? And Alan, so I don't want to leave anybody out, but all of you guys that came and bought tickets for next year, you're going to be turned loose to start reselling the tickets for this upcoming conference. And ask anybody that came to the conference, guys, you'll want to be there. I'm telling you, it's amazing to watch the businesses of people that came have already taken off, are taking off, are in a trajectory to do well this year. So we've got people that are really making a turn. We've got people that have already taken a turn, but the information and the camaraderie that you're going to get there, and the ability to share notes and find out what other people's doing is just amazing. But let me get back to my illustration, because I keep interrupting myself. But thank you guys. But the way this car dealer is doing it is he is incentivizing with these marketing incentives. He'll put up there, like, for instance, work from home, sharing, and I don't give all the ways, but he'll have ad copy that says work from home, earn this, so much a day, no selling at all, from home. And then for more information, and then he's got an explainer video that says, hey, this is me. I'm in the car business. I need people that would just share links, and just for sharing links, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And he uses our marketing incentives actually to say, I'll give you a 2-night, 3-day vacation for every 1,000 people that you send over from your Facebook page. I'll do this. I'll do that. I mean, he's got, and all these marketing incentives are in the back of his ELT package. Doesn't cost him anything because he's already got it. Gives them tremendous value. And now all of a sudden he's got all of these people out there that's sharing his content off of his site and driving traffic to them. So he's not selling them directly. He's getting them incentivized to then share, because what is it for them to go take this link and say, hey, this is a great deal on such and such. I know this guy, you check him out. That's all he's doing. There's an old adage in marketing. It's bad form. It's bad form for you to brag on your products, goods, services, you as a person, but you should have people bragging on you all day long. It's good form to have other people, and it's more credible. And so it's a way for him to drive traffic. So that's just one strategy of many. I don't want to give out all of the good stuff that some of our members do, but I went to him and I asked him, can I, if I don't mention your name and I don't, get too detailed, can I give an overall overarching way, a strategy that you are driving tremendous amounts of traffic to your TW3 site and making tons of money, making and generating tons of leads. And matter of fact, some of those affiliates, some of those people that he's incentivizing, they turn out to be car buyers as well. And so he's got a great program there. Captain says, you don't want to miss the next conference if you're serious about growing your business. You are right, Captain Quackenbush. And that reminds me, because Miss Spellenby was asking about the Monday nights and when do we get back. Monday night, we're talking about the conference. We're talking about the importance of it. We're talking about what business that came in while I was on vacation. People were making money. We were making money. Lindsay's been out of the country on vacation. Chris stays on vacation. I mean, he's a preacher. What is he? Works one day a week. Come on. No, I'm kidding. But that's going to be Monday night, and we're going to be sharing the opportunity in a real tangible way. So if you've got people that are on the fence, bring them. Wednesday nights, our first membership training back. We have got 3 new funnels, 3 new sales funnels that build upon what we've already got. We're not scrapping what we got. Keep that if you're still working that. But if you want to go sort of to the next level with automation and sophistication in your funnels, and I would tell you, master the first one before you move to the second and third one. That's just my admonition to you, because you need to learn the basics before you learn some of the more sophisticated stuff. But we're going to show you a way that you can have a funnel that will have chat bots and automation and all kinds of cool stuff. That comes out Wednesday night. We're going to be introducing that because we're really stepping up some of our sales funnels and some of our processes there. So if you're a member, you will want to be on next Wednesday night's training, which comes next week. And Mike says, good morning here, afternoon there. Well, what's going on, Mike? It's good to have you in the house. I've been talking about, if you didn't hear the initial training, initial conversation before this, the question was, how do you use TW3 with some of the social media outlets like Facebook, and what the marketing assets and tools, how do you use them? And so I was giving the example of how I've got a client down in Alabama that is a used car dealer that has incentivized people. He targets people on social media in a certain region. Okay. And that's the beautiful thing about the targeting with ad copy. And then he brings them into a funnel, so similar to the TW3 funnel. He incentivized them to go and share links from his website that has different cars on it at the time. And for every so many pieces of traffic that comes from those links that he sends out, he then gives them a marketing incentive, like a 2-night, 3-day vacation, free food, free gas. He might even set up a business relationship with them, sort of like we do in our affiliate program at TW3. So those are just some of the ways. And the effectiveness of that is he's got a ton of people. He's only one person. I mean, it's a biblical principle. One can put 1,000, 2 can put 10,000, right? So you can exponentially grow your business when you start incentivizing other people to help you grow your business. And so that's what he's doing. He's taking the TW3 platform as a means to capture traffic. He's going out with using Facebook to saying, hey, I will give you this. I will give you that. I will incentivize you this way. Sometimes it's money. Sometimes it's these marketing incentives. But he's first getting in contact with them there. He gives them a little bit of a training of where to go to get the links, how to get the links, how to send the traffic, how to distinguish whose traffic it is, and then what he's going to do when they send somebody. And he's being able to advertise, hey, you can work from home, you can make a little money with me and never have to sell anything. And that's how he's growing his car business. And so he's got all of these people, all these stay-at-home moms and stay-at-home dads and retirees and all these people out there just sharing posts on social media, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on all these other sites that, hey, if you need a car, check this out. And then he's never having to brag about himself. He gives them language that they can use to brag about him, but it doesn't have to come from him. In the marketing footprint that it gives him online, especially in a region of the country, anytime someone's Googling where to buy a car, looking for this car, they're going to see all of these ads coming from multiple sources. And it just makes the relativity of his site that much greater. So, what online marketing and what using a blog like this does is it takes that whole adage of, do you have any referrals? And it sets it on fire, because now, used to an in-home sales, hey, you got any friends from family and at church or school or whatever, that whole nonsense. And now, rather than having them try to come up with 5 people right there, all they've got to do, they're already connected to hundreds, maybe thousands of people online on their social media. They just get to post it right there. They don't feel like they're bugging anyone because it's a passive way of posting. It's driving traffic, and it's knocking it out. And Mike says, I've seen some of your videos about doing stuff on Facebook. I plan to give that a sort of, sure, cool. I'm going to go ahead and proudly announce this here. My wife and I are celebrating 37 years of marriage. Well, congratulations, brother. I'm telling you what, if you can stay married over a year, you've done something. That tells you that you've learned and she's learned to die themselves a little bit and make room for each other. And you truly are making a pathway. So that's just awesome. That is awesome. Great. Congratulations to you both. That is awesome. I was going to pull up the little cheering in there. That's what if you heard the clicking in the background, that's what that was. Congratulations, Mike. Absolutely. So that was to answer that question. Do we have any other questions from our attendees here? Woo. That's right. That you're working with something with TW3 and need to know how to do something specific. Maybe you're in the recruiting space right now and need some tips on recruiting or anything like that. Be more than happy to help you with that while we've got the time. But that was a question. The reason I always do these live streams, and I start off with, because if I see questions coming in through tickets or questions coming to me directly, that are sort of similar in vein, then I'll sort of go ahead and let me go ahead and create a video. So, because I know that can be used as an asset for you guys later on. But also, while I'm here, I want to make sure I make myself available to answer any questions you have. So go right ahead if you do. By the way, I'm taking a drink. That's why I went to the still camera for just a second. All right. Well, so just to knock out the announcements again, Monday we start back. It's going to be episode 360, and we'll be talking about the conference and talking to people that had been to the conference and sort of getting their feedback. We're going to be talking about some business that happened over the last month while I was on vacation, because I'm telling you, someone was asking me the distinction between what we do versus some other things. And my probably the biggest value proposition we offer is a means to be able to generate business on autopilot and not have to sit there and just sort of sit there in the kitchen and watch it. You sort of that old adage, set it and forget it. You can have a business and all of the stuff going on in the background and not have to be there. So that's the biggest. Insurance wouldn't allow me to do that when I was in insurance. Definitely the music business didn't, but this type of business will, because there's no physical inventory. It's all digital products. The lead generation process is not manual, but it's done through automatic automation. So all of that. And then Quackenbush brought something up. He says, can you speak into the expectations of push marketing versus pull marketing? Yeah. So, push marketing, great question. There's 2 types of marketing we teach at TW3. Push marketing is where you use some of these engagement tools like text, email, voice broadcasting, and you're doing it to a cold list. Okay. Push marketing is always done to a cold list. Pull marketing is done to a warm list, because you have already pulled them into a funnel and you haven't marketed to them yet until they gave name, number, email address and said, I want more information. And pull marketing normally comes through ad copy process. So the example I just gave up front was a way to generate leads for the car business through a pull marketing process. Most of the time, most people would try, and you can, and it works, and it's not discouraged, but you just got to understand, push marketing will always have a lower return on investment and lower return on activity than pull marketing, because you're pushing into a cold market. So for instance, let's just use the example of the car dealership that I just talked about and gave as an illustration. Had that gentleman used a voice broadcast dialer, bulk texter, or bulk emailer, and pushed a marketing piece out to a demographically filtered list, Say, for instance, people in that particular area of Alabama that had a FICA score of a certain amount, had an income of a certain amount, and they were in this particular region. Even if he had an incredible campaign and marketing narrative, sales narrative that would get some response, his response, typically speaking, industry wide, is 1.5% to 2% when you know what you're doing. Okay. So that means for every 1,000 people you dial, you get 15 to 20 people when you know what you're doing. Pull marketing, which is what he's doing, is where I am incentivizing people to ask for more information, in compelling them to want the information to the point they're willing to give up some personal information and say, yes, please. And so your response rate goes from 1.5% to 2% up to 20, 30%. Okay. So automatically. And so hey, Chris, good to have you on, brother. What he did was turned marketing used cars, and developed a strategy using sort of the TW3 methodology to say, hey, rather than sell cars, let me sell people on advertising links for me of my cars and incentivize them to do that. And because they don't feel threatened that I'm trying to sell them anything, they're naturally saying, yeah, I would be willing to be able to get, $500 in free food, or $300 in free food, $1,000 free vacation, $20 a day in cash, all of this other stuff, because he's using all these bullet points of things that he's willing to do for every 1,000 people that they drive. And so it's brilliant. And so it doesn't cost him nearly the amount of money, because you keep in mind, if you did a push marketing campaign with TW3, and by the way, guys, I'm not discouraging doing push marketing. I'm just saying, know the difference, know the distinction, understand the cost and return on that investment so that you're not frustrated when you try this over here and this strategy only brings this and it costs this. Because sometimes the only way to sell a particular product, good, or service is through push marketing. When I was in the insurance business, and how I built this whole business platform was getting good, developing a skill set, and really sharpening and understanding my craft on how to use the voice broadcast dialer to sell final expense life insurance, and how to use the voice broadcast dialer and the bulk texter to sell health insurance. Both of those were push marketing strategies. Okay. And I would argue today that those are products that you sort of have to do that with. You can't use pull marketing very effective. But most of the time, I'm always, Captain, I am always trying to figure out, is there a strategy? Is there a sort of a strategic way, like this car dealer? We worked with him on that, of how I can flip the script, and instead of turning this into a push marketing campaign, something that I can pull people in and allow them to do the pushing, because it doesn't cost anybody anything to go over and get a link and share it on Facebook. And if I did that every day, it would be very ineffective. If I can incentivize 100, 500 people in a region of 50-mile radius to do that, all of a sudden I dominate that region on search engine when people are looking for something, and I am creating a buzz. And so that's the way, just using that example up front of that car dealership in Alabama, he's using a pull marketing method because he's sending out ad copy. They're opting in. He's then able to talk to them rather than him doing a voice broadcast dial system, using a bulk text, and then trying to directly sell a car and driving them back to a landing page. It's still effective. It's still a way of doing it. It's just not as effective. So the better way, it's just like I would tell you today, if you're talking and you're judging if you're judging the effectiveness of a campaign based on its conversion rate, the absolute best type of campaign is you getting in front of someone face to face, knee to knee, right across the table from them and talking to them. However, the cost of that is it's not scalable. You're only one person. Okay. So there's always a give and take. in any type of, if I went door to door, it's more effective than even my pull marketing as far as conversion rates. However, I can't scale, right? So I think push marketing, pull marketing, and overall business. But you just got to understand, when you get into push marketing, is where they are not expecting um, you at all. They don't know you at all. You interrupt their day. Now, I like it. I'm a big believer in it, but just you have to really. There's less forgiveness. Less room for. I guess the word in manufacturing is there's a lower tolerance level in the engineering of that particular campaign versus another. Okay, because you're pushing into their day, you're interrupting them, and that's why when we teach you in the back office in step 7, you really only got a few seconds. And if it's a email, it's that subject line. If it's a voice broadcast, it's that first few seconds that of your script. Your opening. So you got to be good, and so it takes a little more sophistication. It's worth it because you can branch out. It's definitely worth it, but just know that this is a little high. To me, it's a little higher end marketing, and that's why when people get into TW3, we initially show them pull marketing strategies, which is ad copy, pulling them into a sales funnel, and because they got permission, and then when they call them, when they text them to follow up, when they email them to follow up, they're not getting cursed out on the front end. So I hope that helped. Mike says this may be be discussed elsewhere, but on Craigslist, either the map is the way and causes the ads show up further down. Oh yeah. So what you got to do, Mike? We addressed this in some training in your back office a few months ago, but they did do that maybe 6 months ago. So what I recommend is the ad copy you use not to be more than 500 pixels wide. So it slides up in that slot of where they put the map, because if you use some of those older ad copies that we still have back there and allow people to use, and we even put on our, when you get a sales funnel from us, it's there, but by request, we can swap it out for you. No big deal. It's 800 wide, and because it's 800 wide, it pushes it down below that map. So if you're using ad copy we create, just have River or Reagan in the back office to switch that out for you. If we created the funnel for you, if you're creating it, you can there's still some in your toolbox. There's some ad copy back there. We recommend and strongly recommend everyone create their own ad copy, because it's just going to make your ads more effective. But do as you feel prudent. Captain says, I'm a big believer in using push and pull marketing in both overall businesses, but I'm explaining to some of my mentees that they are doing push marketing correctly, but the yield is different. Yeah. I mean, it is. It's just push marketing is always going to be a lesser return when you're good at it. When you are hitting, and to be good at push marketing, you really got to be an expert in that particular product, good, or service that you're offering. The reason I was very effective, and to this day, my RMP business, all of my RMP business that has to do with insurance is done through push marketing. Okay. When you see me making 10, 12, 15 grand, 20 grand a week with just my referral marketing, a lot of that is with insurance, a lot of that. Okay. And a lot of that's through text, through email, and through voice broadcasting. The reason why I can do those numbers with those offers is because I know insurance. I just know it like the back of my hand. I know who buys it. I know who to go after. I know what to say when I get there. And those are all things that, and that's the reason why I use it as an illustration to teach other types of marketing, even in my training, is because I use that as a touch point. And so anytime someone says, hey, I want to get into RMP and I want to do what Terry's doing with the voice broadcast dialer or the bulk text or whatever, great, you can do it. Number one, go in an area, in an industry, in a field, in a market that you really understand. Okay. If you've never been in real estate, don't be offering real estate products. If you've never been in insurance and don't know anything about it, that's not your thing. There are products, goods, and services back there in our RMP. There's hundreds, there's thousands that, I mean, if you like animals, if you are one of these folks that just love dogs and cats and pets, and that's your thing, there are things back there just for pets. So if you've got a heart for pets, then you just, okay, who does this? Well, it's going to be pet owners. How do I figure out who pet owners are? Well, you can't do it through a demographically filtered list. It has to be an interest-based list. That's going to come through social media. So that tells you it's going to be a social media type campaign. And you just start building. And we give you those strategies in a 30,000 foot level cursory on how to think about it, so you can then drill down on how to do it. Hey, what's up, Chris? He says, hey, Mike, I have found that you need to adjust your graphic size to accommodate the map. Yeah, absolutely. That'll help out a lot. It will. All right. Any other questions? Thanks, Captain. That was great. Hope I answered your question in a satisfactory way that will bring value to your folks as well. Okay. Good stuff. So you guys ready for the week? We're going to be ramping up. I'm going to be on Monday night offering some free leads. So make sure you're on there, whoever has the most people, because we really want to make the comeback a big splash. So we're going to be incentivizing, and we're putting some stuff together to send out to you. But just to give you a sort of a cursory, those who have the most people on Monday night, we're going to be giving you some free leads. Just to help you in your business to keep it going and keep it. So you want to get people out there, getting them shouting out your name, letting us know that they're on because of Captain or Mike or Chris or Miss Spelling Bee or any of you other folks, fine folks that are on here. So good stuff. All right, guys. I'll make sure I'm giving everyone time to ask their questions. But yeah, I'm telling you, man, we live in an exciting time, man. And anything you want to sell, anything you want to do, it's just there. The biggest problem most folks face is just getting sort of focused on what they want to do and just going after that and not getting so spread thin. Because the thing about entrepreneurs, I've always said it, that their greatest strength is also their greatest weakness. A true entrepreneur can see it, can smell it, can taste it, can just see the opportunity around them. That's what makes you an entrepreneur. But man, you've got to fight not getting distracted and becoming so spread thin because you're trying to do everything that you do nothing. It is the work of an entrepreneur, I truly believe, to be successful is just staying focused. And if you're one of these folks like me that likes to help people, your Achilles heel is your ability to say no. No to yourself, to want to go in this direction, and no to other people. You know, there is probably 5 to 10 emails I get a day, people saying, hey, won't you do this? Won't you do this? Can you do this? Trying to recruit me or trying to get me to help them do this. And it breaks my heart, but I have to tell 99.999% of people no. Why? Because it would distract me, because I know that my biggest problem is staying focused. I mean, you hear me on these podcasts, you hear me today. I'll interrupt myself more than anyone else just because of ADD. So I really, really have to put the blinders on and say, this is what I'm going to do. It's just like when I get off of here, I'm going to publish 10 different ad copies on Craigslist today. I'm going to drive about 500 leads today. And then I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I mean, I've got some things that I'm going to do today, and I'm not going to do anything else, but I have to have it written down. This is what I want to do. This is my objective. This is what I want to see at the end of the day. And if I don't do that, I won't get it done. So I encourage all of you guys, have a plan, write the vision on the wall, make it plain, and go after it. Because if you don't, you're going to be, hey, this person's calling. All of a sudden you're at the whims and everyone else is dictating what your schedule is. So stay focused. Guys, thanks for coming out. I hope you got some value out of today's little Q&A. For you guys that was asking me about, car dealerships and how to use this, there's just one more strategy. Even if you guys aren't in car dealers, marketing in that particular area, I hope today's illustration showed you just a creative way how you can take any particular product or service and turn it into what we were talking about, a pull marketing strategy rather than a push marketing strategy, to get even more traffic and more people coming to your site. So guys, thanks. And I'll probably do one more toward the end of the week of these if you'd like. And then next week we're back on regular schedule. So I look forward to seeing all of you then. Talk to you later.
Thank you for listening to our show today at terrywilson3.com. If you would like more information on how we can take your money, your business, and your life to the next level, then please visit us online at terrywilson3.com or call 800-673-1728.
This is the Terry Wilson. Really? I'm excited, Terry. I want to get started here.
Is this a celebrity, Terry Wilson?
Oh, my word.
How you doing, sir?
Dude, don't even go there. I've been listening to this for a while, and I'm finally like, okay, guys, what a privilege. I mean,